Righto, hello everyone, it's Ginger here. Welcome back to day 3 of Inktober, and our third prompt is crown. Let me just check I'm right. Yes, I am. And I thought I would stick with that kind of Scottish twist that I put from the last one onto this one, and I did some research into some different Scottish crowns that we've had over the time in the many years, and kind of thought, well, let's do something. When you see images of the crown like carved into stone or as inlays into wood for things like decorations in the palaces, they tend to always be surrounded by thistles as well. So I thought something like that would be really pretty. So I have sketched out the crown. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I've also then used the putty rubber to push it back a bit so that it's a bit more invisible. Well, visible but not as bright. And again, I don't want too much ink, so I'm just going to hold this up a second. This will just help the ink run the opposite direction for a second. So just lightly. Oh yeah, okay. Gonna do this lightly, I said, put a massively dark line down. Honestly, because this one's a little bit more decorated and a little bit more delicate, so I just want to be really careful with how I do this one. What's the scepter part? There's always like a scepter orb with a cross on the top. Again, this is another one I could have done in gold ink, but like I said in previous one, I have run out of gold ink, and also I'm not even sure that you'd be able to see it if I'd done it in gold, which might have been a little problematic. Right, these are usually gemstones or pearls seeded down each section. That is not, but we'll put that there. Line. Oh, now we've decided we've gone thick again. Thank you for that. Like, seriously, come on. I didn't ask for thick. It's going to really ruin it, but never mind. We'll just cope with it. You've been good for ages, and now suddenly I'm like, nope. Like a fleur de lis at the bottom here, like that. Well, that's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Never mind, we'll keep going. Need a little bit more ink. I'm just gonna try to keep this going round. So you have fleur de lis interspersed with more orbs, and then little gemstones in between. This is definitely a little bit more complex than the first two, but that's kind of the point. And just some of these I have a bit more time to kind of develop, and others I don't. So, and this one I just felt needed a bit more to it. You know, it's a crown, therefore it's going to need a bit more to it. Fleur de lis here, and then that curves round and in. And that curves. Oh, that does not curve like that, around and in. Come on. I know you've got ink on you. See? Don't lieth to me that you don't have any ink. Another orb there between those two, and a point. And this one, which comes down around, and then a little gemstone on there. And then this one is up and down like that. This one also comes up and down like that, and then it comes up round the ball. Same with that one, but you can barely see that one, so that's not too bothersome. And then we've got the next kind of crowning part is these two sections that come down at either side and join with the fleur-de-lis here. And even if they're not fleur-de-lis, they are when I'm drawing them. Before anybody decides to try and correct me. I don't care. This is a made-up crown. I'd be quite happy to wear this. Probably weigh an absolute ton though. And then that comes down to there, and that comes down to there. Try and get this straight line here. And curve slightly. Yay, managed it without running out of ink. Always good. If you're doing a long line run, just make sure that you've topped up your ink beforehand. It's like a cushiony part. Another line. Another line. And then this one here. Like that. Right. There's also like a little ball there. Cool. So the main crown is done. That's a good start. Let's do the details on the outside that kind of portrays that this is a Scottish crown. And these are thistles. Should be relatively well recognised. So these are just the lines. And try to decide where I go. So I'm going to do the stem first, I think. It's quite thin. And as I run out of ink, that's the good time to actually do it. There's a leaf here, and then there's another smaller one here. Like that. Again, up and round. These are some of the leaves. Gotta have leaves and stems and stalks. Otherwise it wouldn't look right. Bring that down. Small lines. Thistles really are funny shaped things, really. Where are we going with this? There's another one, and then there's another one here. And then down to here. These are some of the bigger leaves as we go down, which is good. How's that looking, guys? Am I looking a bit better? And we'll do the same on the other side. Start with the big one first. Trying to move this stem over slightly because it's a bit too close to the crown, which is what I didn't want. That's fine, we can do it like that. Little bitty one. Like that. And then we've got another one here. It's been getting a little wild this afternoon with the storm incoming. We should be alright. I think the storm's going to hit further north of us, so we might see some tree limbs down, fences down maybe. Might lose power. I don't think we'll get it as bad as the west coast because we're more east, and certainly not as far north as I think it's going to hit. It's a shame. I was kind of looking forward to it. I like a good storm. I don't like people getting hurt, but I like a good storm. But we shall see. I will let you know how it all goes on day 4. Yay, that's coming together. Do you want to do a little bit more detail on the thistles? Up and round. Need to put a little bit too much ink on. Didn't really tap that off properly. So now I'm going for really thick lines, which is a little annoying. It doesn't look right, but never mind. And then there is, I want another one to come off behind here to there. Just widen that slightly. And then a leaf there. It's a bit messy, but okay. So, what you want to do is I want to make this dark a bit in the middle, because this is usually some sort of dark velvet, usually a purple or a red. In this case, I think a lot of them were blue for the Scottish crown. That makes sense based on the colour, but we are going to colour this in brown because that's what I'm using. And I just can't, I don't want to get the blue ink out just for something like this. Actually, it is, I'm trying to be really careful about getting this everywhere. It will soak through this paper onto the board behind, which is why I've got a piece of cardboard behind. Okay, you come down in here. Like that, and you're also down here. Where are we going? This side. Being very careful not to go over the same space too much, because it will tear the paper as the paper gets wet, because this is standard printing paper from a printer. Pretty. I think I like this one. This one might be my favourite one so far. I'll have to see about the rest. Do I want this a darker band in the middle? I think I do. Yeah, I'll make this a darker band. Just because I think it deserves to be a bit darker down there. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit more detail to these thistles. So they've got these weird, they're almost like little cups shapes, like that. Beginning to think I should maybe do the pearls a darker colour as well. Oh, my light's died. I forgot to plug that in. That was rather silly of me. Try to keep the little U's, if you're doing this, pointing up towards the head of the flower. I mean, are they really flowers? Don't know actually. I suppose I kind of view them as flowers, but at the same time they don't have the same kind of aesthetic value as like big petals that are, you know, bright and vibrant to encourage insects to pollinate. They don't really have that, so I don't know. Let's do these little gems, just because this section's annoying me. So we'll colour those in, and I'll just make it look a little bit better. And this one here. There! I think that's come out rather well actually. So I will leave it there. Oh. You know, I've just realised I probably should be signing these. I know I don't, but a friend of mine said that somebody was stealing videos and putting them up as theirs for Inktober. I think that's a real shame, that is. People shouldn't be doing that. So so she suggested signing it. So we'll sign it down here. There we go. And then it's harder for them to claim it's theirs. I don't know if that's true, but who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Come on, get back in there. So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed that, and I will see you all soon for day 4. Ta-ta for now.